Only blue state Trump is targeting. He's hitting a string of them this week. Some say it's just, well, it's just kind of strange. So let's talk about this strategy with Jeff Rowe. He's the former campaign manager for Ted Cruz's presidential campaign. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you here. So we're 8 days out. Trump has long needed to expand his base, but isn't it a little late at this point in the game?
Well, there's 8 days left, and so you still have 4 days left for persuasion before you have to get into the last 4 days, which is all get out the vote. And so what the Trump team is looking at is let's assume they have Florida and North Carolina. Let's assume they have Nevada and Iowa. Let's assume that they still have Ohio in their camp. They still need another state. So they could pick one state. They could maybe just pick a Michigan or a Wisconsin or New Mexico. They could pick one of those states and put all their chips on that state, but I think it's probably smart to spread it out. But keep in mind, this is all without any data, because the last data that you could get out of the field was last Thursday. And on Thursday, obviously, was a big day, but Friday was an enormous day that maybe scrambled the entire map. That it was hard to poll in one night. Today's Halloween, no polling today. Then they get polls tomorrow night late. And so a lot of this they're having to make on gut, which is, I think, maybe why you see some erratic decisions. The fact of the matter is they have to put a new state in play in order to get over 270.
Okay, so let's talk about what new state is best put into play, right? Because Donald Trump is going to focus on Michigan, but a poll done for the Detroit Free Press has Clinton up 7 points. That's a lot of ground to make up.
It is a lot. Ohio, so with a Republican doing so well in Ohio, you would think that he would have a better opportunity in Wisconsin or Michigan. Michigan is a very difficult state for Trump, one, because there's good blue-collar support for him there, but those suburban areas in Detroit are just going to be very difficult. It's much like Pennsylvania in that way, more than Ohio. But I think Wisconsin is a state, it swings back and forth. It elects Scott Walker, a Republican legislature. It'll send, Democrats to Congress and to the United States Senate. So it's back and forth state, but that's a blue-collar state that he should have in his column, and I think it's the best opportunity that he has on the map.
But in some of these swing states right now, for Ohio, for example, it's really close there, right? He has a very small lead, so why not go there where voters aren't particularly excited about Hillary Clinton, even in northeast Ohio, Cuyahoga County, where there are many African-American voters? Why not go there and, really jazz people to get to the polls to vote?
Well, I think that's what they'll do the last 4 days. That's why I said there's really kind of split in half here. The next 4 days, he still has a chance to bring states into play. The last 4 days, he's got to camp out and, if you will, hunt where the ducks are. And Ohio, he has to win to even worry about it. Wisconsin, he has to win North Carolina to worry about another state, and Florida. And I think you'll see him shore those states up. He has, in the polling that I've seen, he has soft leads in all those states or within the margin of error. But he does have to bring another state. Even if he won all those states, it's not enough, so he could have a really strong base of 266 and just not get there. That's why they have to find another state to put in play.
Okay, so here's the other. Millions of Americans have already voted. And I have trouble believing there are many undecided voters out there, Jeff. I just do. So will any of this really matter?
Well, so there are 22 million people who have voted. We're going to have about 122 million people. So there's 100 million people left to vote. What always happens in campaigns is the early vote are typically the most partisan. So you're just banking your own votes. In fact, you cannibalize election day support to get it in early so you don't have to worry about it any longer. So that's important. But the second piece of it is here's where the undecideds are. I don't believe anybody's choosing between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump at this stage of the game. I do think they're choosing on whether to vote or not. And I do believe they're choosing to vote for a third party or not. And so Trump lags support with Republicans. If he just gets every Republican to vote for him, he wins the election. But he doesn't need all of them. He needs 90% plus. He's only getting 80%. And so those people that are choosing between not voting or voting, or whether to vote for Johnson or not, or Stein or not, those are the people that are swinging around at this stage in the game. And that's why the email scandal, the latest iteration of the email scandal, is most important. Nobody's going to change their mind. It's just whether they participate and whether they swing to and from the libertarian or not.
Fascinating. Jeff Rowe, thanks so much. Still to come in the newsroom.